Let me tell you about a simply marvelous book, sweetie. It's called North and South, and it's all about a rather lovely girl named Margaret Hale. Now, Margaret is living the most divine life, you see. She's in a gorgeous little village in the south of England called Helstone. Imagine it, darling. Endless green fields, pretty flowers everywhere, and the air is just so fresh and clean. It's all very peaceful, terribly, terribly civilized. She has a life of quiet elegance, pleasant walks, polite conversations. But then, disaster strikes. Oh, it's just dreadful. Her father, who is a vicar, has a bit of a wobble. He decides he can't be part of the Church of England anymore. A crisis of conscience, he calls it. So he ups and leaves his job. The whole family has to pack their bags and leave their beautiful home. They have to move, and not just anywhere. They are forced to relocate to the complete opposite of Helstone. It's a truly shocking turn of events for our poor Margaret. They're going to a ghastly industrial city in the north called Milton. The very name sounds rather grim, doesn't it? Margaret is absolutely horrified. She loves her home, her roses, the quiet life. The thought of moving to a busy, smoky town fills her with dread. She sees the South as culture, tradition, and good manners. The North to her is strange and frightening. The journey from peaceful South to industrial North is the heart of the story. It changes her life in ways she could never have imagined. What an utter horror! Margaret and her family arrive in Milton, and darling, it is every bit as awful as she feared. The city is a world of smoke and noise. Great factory chimneys belching grey clouds, everything dusted in soot. The air is heavy and hard to breathe. It's a far cry from Helstone's sweet-smelling breezes. Instead of birdsong, there is the deafening clang of mill machinery. The buildings are all dark and imposing. The streets are crowded with people rushing about. It's all so terribly functional and frankly utterly charmless. Margaret hates it, absolutely detests it. She feels completely lost and terribly alone in this strange new world. The people seem so different, so direct, a little bit rude. They don't have the polite, gentle manners she is used to. Everything is about work, money, industry. There's no time for the finer things in life like poetry or art. She finds the city and its inhabitants coarse and lacking sophistication. To her, Milton represents a cold, hard world where human kindness has been replaced by the relentless drive for profit. Now in this dreadful city of Milton, Margaret meets a man. His name is John Thornton. Darling, he is the epitome of everything she dislikes about the North. He is a cotton mill owner, a master of the mill. He's powerful, he's rich. He's risen from a poor background through sheer hard work and determination. He's proud of his success, and he believes the masters drive progress and create wealth. He's rough around the edges, not like the smooth southern gentleman Margaret knows. Their first meeting is a complete disaster. Margaret sees him as arrogant, greedy, unfeeling. She thinks he only cares about his machines and his money, not about the people who work for him. He sees her as a proud, snobbish southern lady who looks down on him and his way of life. He thinks she's ignorant of business realities and of the hard work it takes to succeed. They clash immediately. They argue about class, business, the treatment of workers. It's tense. It's exciting. Thornton represents the new power of the industrial North. He believes in capitalism, in competition. But here's the delicious part. Beneath the arguing, there's a spark, an attraction. It's undeniable. As Margaret spends more time in Milton, she doesn't just sit in her drawing room feeling sorry for herself. Oh no, darling, she's not that kind of girl. She starts to actually meet the workers. She makes friends with a man named Nicholas Higgins, a union man who is fiercely proud, and his daughter Bessie, who is dying from breathing in the cotton dust from the mill. This is a huge step for a lady of her class. She goes into their homes, listens to their stories, and sees their suffering with her own eyes. It's a real eye-opener, my dear. Through these friendships, Margaret's entire perspective begins to change. She starts to understand the workers' anger and their reasons for wanting better conditions and fair pay. She sees they are not just a rough, uneducated mob. They are individuals with pride, intelligence, and a deep sense of injustice. She develops a profound sympathy for their plight. Her sense of justice, which was once just a vague, ladylike idea, becomes a powerful driving force. She starts to see the world not just through the eyes of a lady, but through the eyes of the poor and oppressed. She becomes a true heroine, darling. Now, we must talk about the genius behind this story, Elizabeth Gaskell. She was a truly remarkable woman for her time, sweetie. Living in Manchester, which was the real-life Milton, she saw all of this firsthand. She wasn't writing about things she'd just read in books. She was writing about the world right outside her window. She knew the mill owners, she knew the workers. This gave her writing an authenticity and a power that was quite shocking in the Victorian era. She wasn't afraid to show the gritty, unpleasant truth of industrial life. She was also great friends with another rather famous writer, a Mr. Charles Dickens. In fact, North and South was first published in his magazine, Household Words. Dickens admired her work immensely, though they sometimes had their little tiffs about her stories, which is all part of the fun, isn't it? Gaskell was a leading voice in what we call social problem novels. She used her stories to shine a light on the terrible problems in society, the poverty, the class divide, the difficult role of women. She was a writer with a real conscience, my dear. What makes North and South so enduringly fabulous is that it's more than just a history lesson. It's a passionate romance wrapped inside a brilliant social commentary. The love story between Margaret and Thornton is one of the greatest ever written, full of misunderstanding and slow-burning passion. These are big, important questions, darling. Can the divide between the rich and the poor, the North and the South, ever be bridged? The story asks us to look beyond our prejudices and to try to understand one another. And that, sweetie, is a message that is just as important today, in 2025, as it was in Victorian England. It's a timeless, brilliant, and absolutely essential read. Simply fabulous. My darlings, please click the subscribe button for more brilliant YouTube videos. Thank you, love.